We're Nanonets. We're a Palo Alto headquartered startup. We've been around roughly about 10 years building products that help enterprises deal with unstructured data.
Deepesh, you can come up on the stage if you want. Oh, yeah, whatever's easiest.
Uh, we have, like I said, we've been around roughly about 10 years trying to help enterprises solve problem of dealing with unstructured information. And we're at a stage right now where we have more than 500 enterprise customers and over 100,000 users who are developers, RPA teams, even business users who've never written a line of code in their life, going into the platform, automating end-to-end workflows using our SaaS platform. In terms of scale, we currently automate more than 2 million decisions across our customers on a daily basis. And we've been backed by some of the leading investors in the valley, and again, a lot of like strategic investors who've helped us scale to this point where we serve industries, different verticals, other SaaS companies, and some of the largest companies in across different industries as well. And what we're trying to solve truly is, I think, something that has come up across this entire session that we've had, which is the core problem to solve in building agents or building any kind of automations is truly the data. Uh, Irrespective of what type of company you are, you might be the most tech forward company in SaaS, or you might be in logistics, or you might be building rockets. It doesn't matter. You're dealing with external parties, third parties, vendors, customers on a daily basis, and the information exchange is constantly happening through unstructured information across multiple processes. Maybe in finance, you're trying to solve claims as an insurer. Maybe in customer service, you're trying to solve RFQ processing, or you're trying to solve order generation. In You might be solving clinical trial data if you're a pharmaceutical company, where you have all of this is just fundamentally really unstructured information, and the pace at which this unstructured information is increasing is tremendous. You might feel that we've done away with paper and solved a problem of unstructured information, but that's not the case. Just the form factor has changed. You don't have physical mail right now, but a PDF is as unstructured, almost as unstructured as a piece of paper, because it can't sit into a vectorized database. It can't sit into go into directly into an RPA tool. You have to convert that information in a format where an agent or an AI a tool or a model can understand. And it's increasing way faster than an average company. So by the time your company grows 2x, your data grows 30x. And if you don't, again, that's if you don't solve that fundamental problem, automation truly is going to be difficult to scale across different workflows in different parts of your organization. We have done this for some of the most complex use cases, where we talked about invoice processing, which is I'd say a fairly uh, complex use case, but there are systems and methods in place, and the universe is slightly smaller where it comes to exception handling and edge cases. But we've gone ahead and solved some of the most complex problems. For example, this is one of the largest airlines in the world, and the problem that they had is, hey, I have a team of 30 people sitting in Dublin getting legal notices in thousands every day, but my team understands only English, and I have notices coming in more than 20 different languages, and it takes me 30 days to resolve a query. And that's really poor for customer experience. It's very difficult to solve. So we deployed our AI models, which we build our model, and I'll get to that in a bit, where we solve this use case for them, parsing, not just parsing information from these documents that come in more than 30 different languages across different no to notices looking the same. We help them automate the part of, let's say, checking it against the policy. Is this even a ticket that needs to be resolved? Can it be auto closed? Do I need to include a physical member of my team to solve this ticket? So it takes decisions, and that's, again, we talked about where do we draw the line between let's say an RPA or an AI or an agent, and that's the critical part. If it is taking a decision on your behalf, that's where the line becomes clearer, whether it's an agent or not. And that's the parts of the problem that we're trying to solve as well. If it's able to take a decision, hey, this ticket is not worth resolving. And of course, the more common use cases around invoice processing, I think Amita talked about how even with invoice processing, people have not been successful. And the core problem has been the data that's associated with it, where we've gone ahead and implemented this for one of the largest automakers in the world. And automated reconciliation of 90% of the invoices that they're processing on a day-to-day basis, where nobody has to look at it. It comes in, it just goes into their ERP system, and they can process payments. And we're able to do this because the core problem that we are solving has been the data. And this is what a typical stack for any enterprise who's solving this problem looks like, where you have, let's say, some people call it OCR, other people might call it IDP, which is being built on training the models, sample data, continuous like refurbishing and retraining of the models. And on top of it, you kind of piece it together with a manual team that just sits and corrects information. Some of it's sent back to learning, some of it's not. And then you have business users who are sitting on the third layer, who are just still have to do almost as much work. And to do all of this, you then have a large IT team or a team of RPA developers who just constantly are entangled in exception handling, writing code for handling edge cases. And it's I think somebody said, where if you solve a problem that saves you $1 million, and then you add $600 worth of people, just $600,000 worth of people solving it, then have you really solved the problem, right? So we want the way we're building this product is we're replacing all of that drag with a product that makes it very easy, not just to build this for a business user, but also to maintain and improve it as you keep using the product. So the Nanonets platform is a combination of a few things. It's a combination of proprietary LLMs, which we've built. We've used open source models to fine tune our models on proprietary data, which are industry agnostic, which are vertical agnostic, which are business function agnostic, and they allow you to solve any kind of problem when it comes to unstructured information. We've overlaid this with integrations that allow you to, as an enterprise, solve these problems across no matter what technology stack you're on. If you're using Microsoft products, you're using Salesforce, you're using NetSuite, you're using whatever you're using, it just plugs right in. And on top of it, we give you certain agentic capabilities, not to solve the whole problem, but the part of the problem, where typically in data processing problem, you have a maker checker. We're eliminating the maker and we're replacing, let's say, 80% of the checker with an agent that takes decisions and handles all the easy stuff for you. And that's what truly generates the value between a 20% automation and a 60% automation of a process. And I talked about model building and why it's very, very important. Recent studies will tell you that foundational LLMs are not that good for solving process problems. And the reason is that the context is too huge. Imagine a 500 billion parameter model trying to solve a use case which is very specific to you as a company. The same model is used to generate Ghibli images and solve invoice processing. That just it's very difficult for it to do both reliably. And that's where we spend a lot of our time building models, small language models, which solve unstructured data as a problem statement. In fact, we launched our first open source model about 2 months back, and people familiar here with Hugging Face would understand that we trended on Hugging Face for about 6 weeks as the top model on the platform. We beat some of the benchmarks of some of the biggest enterprises 100 times the size of our company. And it's currently being used by a lot of open source developers and a lot of teams here. If you have developers who want to test it out, it's available. And we keep launching these models because that's what we're passionate about. And the great thing about the platform is, even though the underlying technologies might feel, hey, how do I use it as a business user? We've built a very easy to use user interface on top of it, which allows you as a business user, as somebody, as a consultant, as an analyst, as a data entry person sitting in an office, to create an end-to-end use case for yourself in a matter of minutes. And of course, even RPA developers, engineering teams inside of companies can build really complex workflows on the platform with minimal to no lift or friction. And of course, the most important thing for any technology implementation is business value. And whenever we have conversations with our customers and they come up with a use case, they tell us, hey, Deepesh, this is what we're trying to solve. The first thing we align on as an organization is, hey, what are you looking to get out of it? Because I was just discussing it on the table, that you might have the most sophisticated piece of technology, but if you can't convince the the people who are actually going to be the benefactors of the technology to use it, then it makes no sense. It's so the way the platform is built is to get alignment and basically improve the lives of everybody included in the value chain of the product. And like I said, the best thing about the product is you don't have to change what you're doing. If you're working out of SAP, you continue to do that. If you're working out of NetSuite, you continue to do that. If your ticketing system is Oracle or if it's Zendesk, it doesn't matter. It's built to kind of get plugged into wherever you are working, so that it becomes easy for you to continue improving your processes. And of course, security is a I don't even need to sell it. It's you can't work without this. It's all built into the platform. Yeah, and like I said, we do this. We've been doing this for about 10 years now, and we've been able to get a sizable number of customers across different geographies to help us and who trust us, who continue to expand with us. We have customers who solve as many as like 20, 30 different problems with us, which again reinforces our faith in continuing to spend our times and energies and passion into building what we're building. Yeah, so from from the deck perspective, this is what I had. Very excited to hear from anybody if anybody wants to know anything, or if you want, we can close this here as well.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Deepesh, for walking us through some of what Nanonets is bringing to the market these days. Awesome. Really great.
Thank you.